Stadium and the ball rolls for the first half of the match between Senegal and Nigeria, with all the action and excitement in real time from this African Cup of Nations match here on Vavel. Retrospect. There have been 11 meetings between the two teams, with 5 wins for Nigeria, 4 for Senegal, and 2 draws. On neutral ground, as will be the case today, there have been 5 clashes, with 4 wins for Nigeria and 1 for Senegal, all of which were in the Africa Cup of Nations. Match Week 5. Finally, the 5th and final round takes place on Saturday, 16, with Central African Republic vs Tanzania and Burkina Faso vs Madagascar. On Sunday, 17, Congo vs Morocco and Zambia vs Kenya are the games of the day, and, finally, on Monday, 18, we will have Algeria vs Niger and South Africa vs Uganda. Match Week 4. On Wednesday, 13, 2 more games take place, with Madagascar vs Central African Republic and Mauritania vs Burkina Faso. On Thursday, 14, Morocco plays against Zambia and Angola faces Congo. Finally, on Friday, 15, we will have Guinea vs Algeria and Niger vs South Africa in the 4th round. Match Week 3. The 3rd round takes place between Saturday and Monday. On Saturday, 9, we will have Central African Republic vs Mauritania and Tanzania vs Madagascar. On Sunday, 10, we will have Kenya vs Morocco and Zambia vs Angola, and on Monday, 11, we will have South Africa vs Guinea and Uganda vs Niger. On the 19th, we will have Sudan vs Senegal and Nigeria vs Congo. Match Week 2. The 2nd round takes place between Wednesday and Friday, but with fewer games. On Wednesday we will have Burkina Faso vs Central African Republic and Mauritania vs Tanzania. On Thursday, 7, we will have Congo vs Zambia and Angola vs Kenya. And on Friday, 8, we will have Algeria vs South Africa and Guinea vs Uganda. And on Tuesday, 12, it ends with Senegal vs Congo and Sudan vs Nigeria. Match Week 1. The first round began on Saturday, 2, with Tanzania's 2-0 victory over Burkina Faso. On Sunday, 3, Kenya beat Congo 1-0, Madagascar drew 0-0 with Mauritania and Morocco beat Angola 2-0. Yesterday the round continued with Guinea beating Niger 1-0 and Algeria beating Uganda 3-0. Earlier today, finally, Congo drew 1-1 with Sudan. Nigeria's bench. Eric Shell, coach of Nigeria, will have the following names on the bench today: Badmus Nuruddin, Afiz Bankole, Austin Harrison Uzandu, Stephen Manyo, Teofiko Taniai, H. Gadi Haruna, Alex Oyowa, Vincent Temitope, Godwin Oba J.E., Anas Yusuf and Shola Adelani. Senegal's bench. Souleymane Diallo, Senegal coach, will have the following names on the bench today: Samba Mballo, Cheick Ndoye, Mbaye Ndiaye, Amadou Koli, El Hadj Semben, Cissé View, Papabas Badji, Issa Kane, Bonaventure Fonseca, Asina Fall Sek, Insa Boy and Abubakar Sarr. Nigeria lined up. Nigeria is lined up for the clash later today in a 4-4-2 formation, with the following starting 11 for the clash later today: Lawal, Sadiq, Jr., Njenj and Abdul Rafiu, Akani, Adedayo, Dachukwu and Malik, El Joma and Sakiru. Senegal lined up. Senegal is lined up for the clash later today in a 4-4-2 formation, with the following starting 11 for the clash later today: Diouf, Ba, Ndiaye, Sis and Leus, Gay, Lai, CS and Nyang, Gomes and Coit. Welcome. We now begin broadcasting the match between Senegal and Nigeria, with all the action, games, and excitement in real time here on Vavel, in this final round of the African Nations Championship, with Th.